Good morning, Desert Sands Unified School District. My name is Sean Webb, and I'm your Director of Community Engagement and the Foundation for Desert Sands Unified School District. We have a special edition of Classroom Conversations today, a Wednesday edition. Normally, we have these on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 o'clock, but this week we're taking the opportunity to celebrate all of our assistant principals, as it is National Assistant Principal Awareness Week. Actually, it's next week, but we have spring break, so we're celebrating it this week. And we've got a really special edition today where we're going to be with the City of Palm Desert. I've got some Palm Desert High School assistant principals, as well as our ASB president who's going to join us. But before we move on, I want to go ahead and thank the Desert Sands Educational Foundation for providing this platform and where we can do this, and I'd like to read their mission statement. The Desert Sands Educational Foundation secures funding and awards money to provide supplemental resources that enrich and enhance student learning in Desert Sands Unified School District. And their vision statement. In partnership with public and private sectors, Desert Sands Educational Foundation financially supports creative and innovative programs that enrich and enhance the educational experience in the academics, the arts, and extracurricular activities that engage all students and staff in Desert Sands Unified School District. So as I shared, it is Desert Sands National Assistant Principal Appreciation Week. Try saying that real fast. Um, but we're celebrating here. I'm actually at Palm Desert High School in their Aztec Film Studio. We're in the sound booth. Mr. Martin is right across the glassway here teaching his class, but I'm over here. And the reason why I'm here is because we're honoring our assistant principals. And I'd like to bring on Mayor Kelly from the City of Palm Desert, who's got a special announcement for them now. Good morning, Mayor Kelly. How are you doing?
Great, and thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this occasion. It's a very special privilege to celebrate assistant principals, since one of the assistant principals at my own high school played a transformative role in my life in a very positive way. So I have a proclamation I would like to read.
Oh, excellent. Thank you very much. We greatly appreciate that.
Whereas school assistant principals work in tandem with principals to cooperatively direct, develop, and inspire all members of the school staff and student body, and communicate effectively with parents to engage them in the learning process. And whereas assistant principals serve as educational leaders, managing the policies, regulations, and procedures necessary to ensure a safe and effective learning environment for all students in Desert Sands Unified School District. And whereas assistant principals are entrusted with the opportunity and the responsibility of guiding, directing, nurturing, mentoring, and imparting knowledge to our children as part of the school's educational process. And whereas assistant principals work collaboratively with principals, teachers, staff, students, parents, and the community at large to proactively prepare students to be self-reliant and productive citizens. And whereas National Assistant Principals Week is an opportunity to recognize the hard work of Desert Sands Unified School District assistant principals and to recognize their importance in ensuring that every child has access to quality education. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Kathleen Kelly, Mayor of the City of Palm Desert, California, do hereby proclaim March 29 through April 5, 2021, as City of Palm Desert Assistant School Principals Appreciation Week.
And that is fantastic.
And we call upon the observance of this occasion by all residents.
Well, thank you very much on behalf of Desert Sands Unified School District. That is absolutely fantastic that the city has taken the time and done up this this great proclamation and designating these days in honor of our assistant principals.
It's our great privilege to express appreciation on behalf of the whole city.
Excellent. I will say that a lot of times when we have our visitors on, we get comments through social media, and you have a follower. One of our former principals, and I worked with her as an assistant principal, Dr. Rebecca Cook, says, "Hello, Mayor Kelly," and she says, "Good morning." So I wanted to make sure that you get that message from her direct. But no, it's just absolutely fantastic, the partnership that the district and the school have together with the city. So thank you very much for that.
Absolutely.
Oh, geez, everybody's getting on the bandwagon now. We got a ton of people watching. You also have Lori Tobin, who says hello and wants to say hi to you, and say hi to your mom. So that's
Sure.
awfully
Do.
nice. Awfully nice there. Awfully nice there. So with that being said, Mayor Kelly, I want to invite you to stay along and be with us for the rest of the show here. We were going to highlight our assistant principals at Palm Desert. And now next up is going to be Ethan Horn, who's their ASB president, who's got some kind words to speak on behalf of our assistant principals.
Terrific.
Excellent. Ethan, good morning. How are you doing, sir?
Good morning. Thank you for having me, Mr. Webb. First off, I'd like to thank our assistant principals just for being my assistant principals. But I'm a senior at Palm Desert, so I've been able to see all their hard work in not only in person, but I assume over this crazy school year. And I also was able to attend the first 2 days of in-person learning, so I can't imagine how much hard work they had to put into that effort, and I just want to thank them for that. Specifically for each of our assistant principals, Mr. Diffie, Ms. Say, Ms. Corral, and Mr. Bautista, just thank you for everything you guys have done. Over my 4 years, there's been plenty of changes in the administration, but I think this is one of our best 4, and I'm excited to see how they continue. Mr. Diffie, I've been able to grow a great relationship with Mr. Diffie as he's taken a role in ASB and been part of our meetings. So, and I'm happy that he makes sure our words are heard by the rest of the administration, principals in the district. I was able to also grow a great relationship with Mrs. Sag as we created the video for the district board meeting last February. I want to re-thank her for that. Although I haven't met Mr. Bautista, I've heard about the great work he's done with the outreach programs and the awards, and I've seen it all over Instagram, and I'm looking forward to see what he does as he continues. And I just know Miss Corral always working hard. I see her all over campus, and she's great. So again, I just want to thank all of these assistant principals.
Excellent, Ethan. Thank you very much for those kind words for all of your APs that you have, and you being in ASB and being in leadership. I know that it's different with the pandemic. You're probably not having as much of a close relationship as you normally would, but I know that Mr. Zank, as well as the APs, reach out via Zoom in different ways and so forth. But thank you for that. And I'll tell you, I'm not going to take any offense. I was an assistant principal over at Palm Desert while you were an underclassman. So I won't take any offense that I may not be in the top 4, but I am aware I was only there for 1 year for your education. So I'll be okay with that. But with that being said, what I'd like to do, Ethan, you're more than welcome to stay along with us for the ride, but I'm going to go ahead and bring on one of our assistant principals to speak with, and you guys can get to know this person a little bit more. And who I'd like to bring on is Ms. Sag, who's going to go ahead and talk about a little bit about her background, as well as some of the things that she does on campus and so forth. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm great. Great to be here. Good morning, everybody.
All righty.
Good morning, Mayor Kelly, and thank you, Ethan, for your kind words. And thanks for hosting, Sean. This is amazing.
Oh, you know what? I always like to say I've got the best job in Desert Sands. I want to say I got the best job in the desert. I get to highlight all the great things that are going on in schools and so forth.
I might argue with you, Sean. I really do. Being an assistant principal over here at Palm Desert High School is extremely rewarding.
I'm sure it is, and I know that firsthand. Well, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what do you do over at Palm Desert?
Okay, well, I've been assigned the Office of CTE, which stands for Career Technical Education. We have 5 different programs in the area of engineering, computer science. I have a film and broadcasting academy that Ethan and I got acquainted with. Yes, that's right. I think you're in one of our studios now.
I am. I'm the sound booth here for your podcasts and so forth.
I love it. Well, it's working out for you.
Yes, it is.
We also have an engineering program and a health academy. And currently we are building 3 new CTE programs in the area of visual performing arts. So we are looking for students who are interested in professional dance, professional theater, professional music, both for vocal and instrumental. So this has been a huge project this year, and we're super excited about it to introduce it to our community and our students and our parents. So.
Oh, that just sounds amazing with those programs that you have coming along here. I love the opportunity that you guys are presenting for your students in the community.
I think it's going to really be a highlight for students and another avenue for success for them. So I'm looking forward to it also.
I agree completely. Yes.
One of the other duties that I get to take care of here at Palm Desert High School is assessments. And,
Okay.
you know, one would think it would just be a couple times a year, but it's not true. It is all throughout the year. And we've just completed a very successful finish to our CASP testing. We had about a 95% completion rate. And so I'm really, really excited. That's a state assessment, both for English language arts and math. And we're looking forward to our upcoming AP exams. We have over 1,000 students taking AP exams. So I'm really, really excited for them. They've been working very, very hard. And those scores are really helpful when the students move on to college and career, right? So they can apply those passing scores to university level courses. So we're excited.
Okay. Mayor Kelly, did you hear that? She said 1,000 kids are taking those AP exams. That's more than half of the population here. That's absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Ethan, how many exams will you be taking?
I opted out of one of them, but I'm going to be taking 2. I'm taking
Okay.
AP Bio and AP Literature this year, but I've taken multiple in the past. So.
Don't diss yourself for opting out of one. Geez, I'll be the first to say I should have taken more of those in high school and so forth. And I love that you guys provide that opportunity. Is there anything that maybe you want to share about yourself that maybe the general, Palm Desert High community doesn't know about?
Wow. Well, I'm sure there's a lot they don't know, but I started my career. This is my 20th year. I started in 2001, and I was a baby teacher teaching 6th grade in an elementary school. It was a self-contained classroom. I've had different classroom experiences out of the classroom. I was an instructional coach, working with school improvement projects in Glendale. That's where I started my career. But I'm actually a product of Desert Sands. So I grew up here in the desert. I went to Palm Desert Middle, and I was a graduate of Palm Desert High School. So I am a true Aztec through and through.
I love that. And I'm sure, Mayor Kelly, you love seeing our own community come back to educate our own community and so forth. Most definitely. Excellent. With that being said, I'll tell you, I've been in the desert 20 years as well.
Okay.
For 20 years, this is my 20th year in education. And one of the people that I met very first year out here is one of your colleagues. And I'm not sure if you even know that, but that's Mr. Bautista. One of your assistant principals. And what I'd like to do is I would like to bring on Mr. Bautista to share a little bit about his background and so forth. But before I have you leave, because I know you have a very busy morning, is there anything else that you'd like to maybe say to Ethan, the parents, or to Mayor Kelly?
Wow, that is a huge task for a small time frame, Sean. I would just like to thank you. I mean, this is a huge honor, Mayor Kelly. We really, really appreciate it. We do work hard, and the recognition is icing on the cake. So that is really, we're all very thankful for that. Ethan, you guys, the students at Palm Desert High School are amazing. I can't believe that we get to see you this week. And after spring break, all these students coming back has been amazing. We're going to work to give you guys every opportunity that we can for more involvement in school. And I'm just thrilled for you that you guys get to have that end part of your senior year together. And for the other students and parents, the door is always open. Any ideas, any exciting programs, we're always working behind the scenes, like you said, Ethan, to get things going and rolling for our students. And we're all really, really excited about their success and their progress and what we can do to support them.
Well, I kind of put you on the spot there, and I feel you nailed it. Thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to bring in Mr. Bautista. You have a great day. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, Sean. Bye, guys. Bye, Ethan.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Bautista. How you doing, sir?
I'm well, Mr. Webb. Thank you for having me. Good morning, Mayor Kelly, and good morning to all of you. It's just a wonderful and beautiful day here at Palm Desert High School.
Most definitely, most definitely. So I kind of let the cat out of the bag. I've known you a long time. We've known each other a long time. We worked together at Desert Mirage High School and CV Unified. But maybe
That's
if you can
correct.
give a little bit about your background and so forth and what you're going to be doing here at Palm Desert, because I want to say this might be one of your first public outings.
You know what? Well, I'll give you a little bit of background. This is my 25th year as an educator. You know, as I've shared with some folks along the way, you know, I started as a kinder teacher, taught kinder for 3 years, but since then I've been at the high school level, and it's most rewarding. You know, I've done a little bit of everything from being a teacher to becoming an athletic director, activities director, and then transitioned over actually, well, back, as Mr. Webb said, you know, we met in 2003, 2002, in that time frame, as we worked together, and it was a great, you know, time that we spent together there with Mr. Webb and the staff at Desert Mirage High School. And 8 years ago, you know, I was blessed and hired to be back in Desert Sands. I'm also a product of Desert Sands, as I attended all schools in Desert Sands Elementary. Back when I was growing up, we had K2, and 3, 4, 5 was another transition that students made in Desert Sands. And then middle school, I attended Wilson Middle School, which is now Amistad High School. And, you know, I went to Indio High School, and my freshman year was when Palm Desert High School opened up. And so, you know, that was that, seeing a lot of my friends that we all kind of grew up together, you know, come to Palm Desert High School, and you know, and then competing athletic-wise in some sports, what was bittersweet, you know, because you don't want to compete against those friends that you saw, you know, or that you grew up with over the years. But that's a little bit about me. And now, you know, within Desert Sands, I did, you know, teach for a couple years, but then 2 years later, I was hired by Child Welfare and Attendance as an attendance facilitator. And most recently, over the last 3.5, now 4 years, I've been blessed to be an assistant principal, both at Shadow and now extremely thankful and happy to be here at Palm Desert High School. It's been amazing, you know, just being here working with Mr. Zink and the great team and the admin team that I'm part of, you know, here with Ms. Sig, Ms. Corral, and Mr. Diffie. So a little bit about me here at Palm Desert High School. I oversee school discipline, attendance, you know, student recognition, and I'm also the administrator that supports our ELAC, our EL parents here on site. And so, and to touch on, you know, just, I guess, you know, we did have a little bit of attendance issues at the beginning of the year, but we were doing lots of home visits, paying, you know, families visits as well to see how students were doing, reconnecting our students, you know, emailing staff members to work with our students who were struggling, you know, to make it even on Zoom. But, you know, the good thing is that most students reconnected and have done well. So that's been a huge blessing as well. As, you know, was brought up here earlier by Ethan, we have also, since the beginning of the school year, been going out and recognizing our students who are nominated by our staff members for student attendance and class participation. So we've been going out, taking T-shirts, recognizing our students, taking some photos and posting them on social media. And then most recently, one of our school organizations, our boosters, and also our parent support groups here on campus have actually provided Starbucks cards so that we put those into another random draw, just recognize our students even more, you know, so that it's just been, that's been rewarding to see our kids, you know, with that smile and getting a shirt. Parents have been super happy about that portion of recognition. So also even with our ELAC parents, we started off with a small group of parents, even through Zoom, but we've reached highs of about 20 parents attending our ELAC meetings once a month. And so we'll be recognizing our parents next month in May
Okay.
With, just for their participation. We've got some certificates for them. We can't meet up here on campus, but they'll be doing a drive-through recognition, and we will also be recognizing our students who have been reclassified, as English learners into general ed classes. So that's going to be fun. That'll be in May when we have our student recognition awards ceremony here on campus.
Okay, well, that is excellent news to know, because I'm gonna wear another hat right now, and one of the committees I serve in the community is for the city of Palm Desert, and I'm on their ad hoc committee for community engagement. And I'm going to make sure that I share all that information at our next meeting. Mayor Kelly, I see you nodding your head. I'll make sure to share all that information and see if we can do a little joint thing together, because I know that the city and the school are really wanting to increase the amount of involvement of our community on our campuses with our events in our cities and so forth. So I'll definitely connect you, Mr. Bautista. You'd be a valuable asset to have on that team.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll tell you what, it's just a pleasure to have you here. Like I said, you and I have known each other a long time, and I'm glad to see you at Palm Desert here. I'm glad to see you're going to bring all your great things that you did over at CV Unified and Shadow Hills over here to Palm Desert and the students here.
Thank you, Mr. Webb. It's been an honor. It's been great. And as mentioned by Ms. Sig, these first 2 days that the kids are on campus, I got to tell you one thing. The kids are amazing. They're respectful. They're just a great attitude. Couldn't see the smiles because of the mask, but you could just see that they were so happy to be here. And just talking to kids, they're so happy to be back. So it's with great joy that I say that I share that joy with them, at the gates when they come in, and just amazing kids here at Palm Desert High School.
Excellent. Before I let you go, I do want to let you know, like I said, I like to highlight the comments that come in, especially when they're very specific. And Dr. Cook put this out there, and it can be seen in your comments there that you have such a heart for kids. And I greatly appreciate, and I agree with that statement. So thank you for all that you do for us. Before I let you go, Ethan, it's your first opportunity with Mr. Bautista on live social media. Do you want to ask him any questions?
I don't really have any specific questions, but I haven't met him in person, but I've already seen the work he's done, and that's just great to see. And I'm looking forward to the future, and I know Palm Desert's in good hands.
Awesome.
Thank you, Ethan. Thank you. Look forward to meeting you as well in person.
Hey, Mr. Bautista, thank you very much. You have a great day. I'm going to go ahead and bring on your counterpart, Mr. Diffie, here.
Thank you. Likewise. Good seeing you all. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye. Hello, Mr. Diffie. Good morning.
There we go. Good morning, Mr. Webb. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate you taking the time to do so. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who is Mr. Diffie?
Yeah, thanks. Actually, first, Ethan, thank you for that introduction, man. That was really nice to hear, man. We do have a great ASB program that I'll get into in a minute. Mayor Kelly, also thank you for taking the time to join us today. It's an honor. That was a wonderful proclamation you made there at the beginning, and we are all flattered, and we're all honored to be working here at Palm Desert High School. I am a Palm Desert resident, native, born and raised, product of Desert Sands. Like Mr. Bautista was sharing way back in the day, Washington, before Washington Charter was charter, it was elementary school, K2, so took the bus up there. And I actually grew up just a couple blocks from the high school here. Then the next stop was Lincoln Elementary, and then Palm Desert Middle School before it was Palm Desert Charter. And then I am proud to say I am a product of the first graduating class here at Palm Desert High School. You can kind of see the bottom of my old vintage Letterman jacket back there on the wall behind me. That's class of '89. So I just dated myself. Yeah, I'm about as old as the dirt that the school was built on. So a couple of the things, my responsibilities here, one is athletics. And I have the great, I'm very fortunate to be working with Daryl Salazar, who has been an AD in the district. He was actually my coach and teacher when I went to school here. So the wealth of knowledge and experience that he brings to the table makes my job much easier, but a learning experience every time I sit down with them, and we sit across from the table and go over some things. And so I'm learning every day. This is my 24th year in the district. I started my first job in 1998 was at Eisenhower Elementary School. Which was about 5 or 6 years there, and then actually moved to Palm Desert Charter. Was there during the process of changing from Palm Desert Middle to Palm Desert Charter. Then I had the good fortune of being able to open our newest high school, Shadow Hills High School, in 2009. I was at both of those sites for 5 or 6 years. And then with Memo, actually, same year, we were both hired into child welfare and attendance as attendance facilitators in 2015, 16. Spent 3 years in there. Learned a lot at the district level. Great department there, the DEC North under Larry Belenich, and learned a lot there. Learned a lot about what kind of goes on behind the curtains and resources, setting families up with families in need. And then when this position here, I just thought, man, I would love, the chance to return to your alma mater. And so I jumped at it, and somehow the stars lined up and got the job here. And it's been a great return, man. This is a unique high school in the Valley. I truly feel that from top to bottom, from, working under Mr. Zink, I'm learning a ton every day from Mr. Zink, man. He's a great guy to work under, and he's getting a lot done. The numbers speak for themselves. The climate, the culture on campus is amazing. The team, the admin team, like one of them referred to, it's just, man, we just all click, man. We all have our own duties. We stay our main thing is stay in your lane, be good at staying in your lane, and it works. We get a lot done. We're fortunate to get a lot done here. One of the other departments I oversee is activities with Ethan. We've got an amazing ASB advisor, Mr. Coolion, and that guy he's 100. I'm sure you know him. Chris Coolion's also a soccer coach. Guy's 100 miles an hour, man. And he works his tail off, and he's the Energizer Bunny's got nothing on him, and I've sat him down and basically it's like, Chris, I'd much rather have to tell you to slow down than to get going. So you keep doing what you're doing, and we'll keep you between the navigational beacons as we go. So, like I said, and that's how it is. Our staff is amazing. I've been a part of a couple different high schools, and I tell you, man, this staff is amazing. I mean, they work hard. They've got the students' best interests at hand at all times. And then the students themselves, it's great. I don't want to say, it's not, it's been used as Disneyland. This place it's a great place to work from top to bottom, from the staff, the athletics, the activities, and the parent involvement, man. Our PTO, our foundation groups, there's no ends they won't go to help out the students on their needs, what they need, whether it's just support, whether it's financial support, whether it's just getting things done, man, out in the community. And it's just great, man. I can't say enough how fortunate I feel to work at this site.
I agree. When you speak about your PTO and your foundation and the boosters, every meeting that I attended, I always started off with, I said, ladies and gentlemen, I feel that you guys are a big force to reckon with on campus. Like they are a group that we have to answer to. They're a group they are very, very good friends of the community and very, very good friends of Palm Desert High School. Oh yeah, and it's built through relationships that they put in. They put in the work and built the relationships. And but yeah, when they want something, they're going to let you know. When they need you to do something, not when they want something. When they need help, when they need you to do something, and they're going to put your feet to the fire. Put my feet to the fire. As far as have you done it? Have you done it? Have you done? And the best part is that they've developed that relationship with Mr. Zink. They've developed that relationship even with the district, so they know exactly what is needed and so forth. And they help push us along. So I greatly appreciate their partnership with us. Oh yeah. Yeah. Now, one question I have for you, Mr. Diffie. I wasn't really aware that you're here working on campus with some of your past teachers. How does that feel, working on campus with you have some of your former teachers here also? I believe with Miss Dahl retiring last year, I think we're down to Coach Salazar is the last man standing. But yeah, it was, being a coach, I've coached in the district for most of those 20 years. So you cross paths. And so, when there was Coach Brady was still around, and obviously Coach Blackburn is here, and he's been here for quite a long time as well. He was my first coaching job back in '96. When I coached football and baseball here at the high school, and so it's awesome, man. Them knowing me as a high schooler, I wouldn't have been voted the most likely to be an assistant principal at Palm Desert High School 25 years down the road. I can tell you that. So it is unique. Yeah. It is kind of, when I see some of my former classmates around and like, you're AP at Palm Desert, they let you out. How'd you get out? Type thing. So it is good. I like I said, I'm fortunate to be here. The kids come through here. My own children came through, and so it is nice. It is a unique work opportunity for me. I bet. Ethan, you're on with Mr. Diffie. Is there any questions you have for him, maybe about some upcoming events that maybe you haven't been able to ask about or anything like that?
Well, we had a business meeting last week, so I think we're pretty much up to date in a lot of things. I know we have a couple things we're looking forward to after spring break, but no real questions.
Okay. Excellent. Mayor
Yeah,
Kelly.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead, but by all means.
Yeah, and I didn't really touch. Obviously, it's a foregone conclusion or not need to be said. This has been in my 24 years. I would say, in anybody that's breathing right now, the most unique year in education that we've ever survived. Had to survive, and and it's been a blessed art of flexible for they bend but don't break type year for sure. And unfortunately, obviously those seniors this year. My son was a senior last year, so it was the second half of his senior year. I feel for these guys, and with Ethan, I'm sure there's some things he wants to ask me, like, hey, when are we going to do this? We're going to get to it, I promise you. And it's just been a matter of once we get back on campus, man, and then we can open up some doors and do some things without quite as many restrictions as we would have had to do had we tried to do them months ago or something. So we are working on some things to get some student involvement. Now that we opened the doors 2 days ago, it's been great seeing some signs of life on campus. And like Mr. Bautista said, you can definitely see that these kids are happy to be back on campus. A whole lot of it's kind of weird that we have some freshmen. We're going into April, and we've got students walking onto campus yesterday that didn't know where anything was, and that was kind of an odd situation. That this late in the year, well, where's the 8 building? What's the 5 building? What's the 6? So doing what we normally do at the end of August or beginning of September, we're doing in April. But at least we're getting them back, and that's a good thing.
Well, I'll tell you, my first year at Palm Desert, my only year at Palm Desert as an AP, it was just by this time of year where I was actually learning the campus. So I can only imagine where Mr. Bautista is right now with learning the campus and so forth.
Oh,
but yeah, definitely. Well, Mr. Diffie, thank you very much. And on behalf of the school district, I just want to say thank you for being an assistant principal and giving it your all every day. There was a motto that we started at the beginning of the pandemic, DSUSD, we got this, and you definitely embody that. And thank you for everything that you do.
No, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you all.
You got it. You have a great day.
You too.
Yep. Okay, we're going to go ahead and continue on here. Mayor Kelly, you've heard from 3 of our assistant principals, and you got to love that they'll have roots right back to Palm Desert and the desert. I'll tell you, I'm a transplant. I'm from Buffalo, New York, but you got to love that you have some of your own teaching our own.
You are so right. Whenever I speak to a graduating class, I encourage them to come back. Because there is no more special community, and the interviews today just go to prove that. I feel like I should read the proclamation all over again, but I won't, because your interviews just demonstrated how true that proclamation is in raising up the importance of assistant principals to the experience of our students and to the fabric of the whole community. So thank you for this opportunity.
And thank you for honoring them. I greatly appreciate it. It's just been a fantastic morning. I'm not sure if you saw our feed earlier, but I was actually with Palm Desert Charter Middle School. I did a little drive-by with their assistant principals, and Mrs. Frazier was on with them. And Mrs. Wright, if you're watching, I'm coming to your school next over at Reagan, so we'll be visiting you. But thank you for honoring them on behalf of the city. Ethan, is there anything else you'd like to say in regards to National Assistant Principal Awareness Week?
I think I got it all in. I wanted to take notes before just to make sure I got everything I wanted to say in, but I think I just thank them again. They've been great this year, and I'm proud to be an Aztec.
I love it. Well, thank you both for taking the time. I'm going to go ahead and close this out, and we'll catch you at the next online stream. We'll see you. Thank you. Okay, so as we close out here, I just want to say thank you again to the City of Palm Desert for honoring all assistant principals for National Assistant Principal Awareness Week. We're going to head, as I shared, I'm going to continue on in honoring our different assistant principals and visiting them and bringing them online with us. Tomorrow we have La Quinta High School that's scheduled to be on with Mayor Linda Evans, as well as they have a student who's going to be joining them too, Alyssa Torres. And then on Friday, we have Shadow Hills High School who's going to be on. I'm going to be on actually with their their ASB class, and they're going to bring on a couple of their APs to talk about them and so forth. And then lastly, in the evening, I'll be at Indio High School, where we do our Friday Night Lights halftime show, but also during halftime, we're going to also talk to some of our assistant principals at Indio High. So we take this serious. When we celebrate our assistant principals, we want to make sure that everybody gets to know who they are. But you guys have a great day. Make sure you catch us live at Desert Sands USD on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and on YouTube. Have a great day. Make sure to wear your mask and wash your hands. We'll see you later.